As you can see, I'm back to living in my car again. Nothing bad happened this time. It's just my skoolie needed an oil change, and I had some other work that needed to get done. I'm changing the coolant and also the brake fluid at the same time. And then they're also going to take a look at the front suspension and see if we can get that sorted out. So none of those things should take all that long. So this should only be for a few days this time. I'm also really close to being able to sell this car. So hopefully I'll have time to get it cleaned up. If I can't do it today, then probably I'll have to wait until after Christmas. Right now I'm working really long hours. I just finished a 65-hour week. So it was 6 10-hour days plus overtime on several of those days. I'm scheduled to have 2 days off right before Christmas. Just my usual weekend, but I don't think that's likely to happen. We're losing a lot of new drivers. They're calling in sick and stuff, and so I'm stepping in to cover for them. It's just going to be a busy season for me in general. And then January is going to make up for that, where I'm likely to have days which are going to get cut, which is one of the reasons why I want to take vacation then anyways, because that way I don't miss days of work. I'm just going to be gone and getting paid. But since the bus is just about ready to go, this is the last bit of maintenance, hopefully, that it will need before I take off. I decided to order some stuff to prepare me for colder weather. It actually was snowing this morning, which is a little bit early for the Seattle area to see any snow at all. But to be fair, it was up in the mountains a little bit. But anyways, there was some snow this morning, and we're expected to get snow a few times this week. It's not likely to stick or anything, and if it does, it won't stick around. But it's getting cold enough that snow is becoming a thought. And I'm not 100% prepared for the snow yet. So I have all these boxes. I stopped by my mailbox and picked them up. This is the first thing I got, some new snow boots. I don't know if they'll actually fit, but they look okay. And for the price, they should be pretty good. They're made by the same company that made my shoes, so we'll see how they are. It's always inspiring when you see the label on it, calling these casual loafers slip-on woven boat shoes, which is about exactly the opposite of these lace-up boots, but at least the product looks okay. So one thing I can tell right away is that these are way, way lighter than my old hiking boots that I used to have, and they do have a decent amount of tread on them. It was kind of hard to tell from the pictures, but the tread looks okay. People seem to give them good reviews, so that's good. The build quality actually is pretty decent, and considering this is a $35 boot, you know, I can't complain. From what I read online, these hold up pretty well as well. Well, even more surprising, these boots actually fit, so that's a good sign. Their sizing chart was correct. They didn't have my size, but I think they said to order like a size larger or something, and so I did that, and they fit perfectly. And that's what happened with these shoes too. These are made by the same company. These have held up really well, especially considering these are really inexpensive as well. I walk 10 to 20 miles a day as a delivery driver, and they last me a good 6 months, and so I keep buying them, and I've been really happy with these shoes. So hopefully these boots are just as good. I can never remember what I ordered, but looks like in this bag we have some new socks. I have a lot of lightweight socks that are good at keeping my feet cool and dry, but they are just cold this time of year, and I'm wearing out all my other socks that I used to have, so these are just some more wool socks. Always good to have those around. Alright, so I think I know what this is. It's a lot smaller than I thought, but got good reviews again, so it should work. Alright, so this is a folding shovel. I've been needing a shovel for a variety of reasons, and I was hoping for one a little bit larger like the ones we have in the vans at work, but this is actually a little bit better made, even though it's smaller, so, you know, pros and cons. And it does have a serrated side to the blade, so that's good, I guess. I don't know. I'm actually really happy with this, though. That should get me out of lots of situations if I get stuck. And also, it is small, so it's great for carrying. If I want to go backpacking or something, I can carry that. So I'm pretty happy with that. We'll see what else we have in here. So this is a 13/16 inch socket. Nothing too fancy here, but I've been slowly collecting all the tools I need to change my tire, and this is the last of the tools. I just need a spare tire now. Well, I didn't even look to see who this envelope was from. I opened it up and this hat came out. I was like, wait a minute, I didn't order a hat. What's going on here? This is for my mother. She's really good at knitting, and I'm fairly sure she made this one. I don't think you can buy a hat quite like this in a store, but it's pretty nice and simple. I'll add it to my hat collection. She's always getting me or making me hats, so I I appreciate that. Also in the bag there, she got me a bunch of small chocolates. And here we have some tire chains. I spent a long time trying to figure out which tire chains to get, and I ended up with these. They seem to be the ones that most people recommend on Amazon anyways. And since I have a tendency to buy everything on Amazon, that's what I ended up with. I know a lot of people in other places are probably wondering why on earth I would get tire chains, but the reason for that is they can be required around here. They don't really do a good job of maintaining the roads in snow because it just doesn't happen that often. And so when it snows, the roads can get really bad and they'll require tire chains in places. And also going over mountain passes, you're basically required to have them in the winter, and they can force you to put them on. So even though I do have snow-rated tires on my bus, I still have to have tire chains. So this wasn't really that optional. It's just something I needed to keep in the bus. Incidentally, of course, the car that I'm in right now does not have any tire chains, and I don't plan on getting any for it, so hopefully it doesn't snow in the next week. Well, it's the next day, and I actually got the bus back, so I only had to stay in the car one night, and my timing couldn't have been better because the entire way back from Cedar-Woolley back to work, it was snowing, and it is starting to stick to the plants and definitely onto the ground. We weren't really supposed to have this much snow tonight, but I'm glad I am now prepared for it because I have a bus that runs perfectly. It's in great shape. I have plenty of fuel for the next week. I have food, and I have all my snow gear that I just got in the mail, so this all worked out perfectly. All the fluid changes and everything that I did to the bus ended up costing me about $778, so I think that's actually the first time I've taken the bus in and spent less than $1,000. And even better, all of this was just routine maintenance, and they did an inspection, of course, like always, when I get my oil changed, and they said there's really nothing wrong with the bus anymore. It's, mechanically at least, in pretty good shape. They are keeping an eye on some of the ball joints in the front suspension, but they said, for right now, they're all plenty tight, and I have to say, on the way back, the bus was driving great, and that's all very good news. So I'm ready for a trip, although if it snows too much, I might not be able to go anywhere by January. Well, anyways, I'm going to get the bus all warmed up here, have the heater on high. It was running actually the entire drive down here, just to keep it kind of warm back here. And so I'm gonna get it back up to room temperature, and if the snow continues, I will be posting a snow update. But thank you for watching, and Merry Christmas to everyone.